Uh, I'll talk as much as I can. It's the Philippines 2050, a first world economy, a first world country. This building has some of our projects in 40 countries. Yeah, I presented this in New York, 2006, 60th anniversary of United Nations. We can interconnect all the 6 continents of the world. And the comment was, what's this crazy Filipino talking about? The day after, they told me, this could be less expensive than the Gulf War, interconnecting all the continents. 2013, China announced the Road Belt Project, but they excluded the Americas. And our country had been international hub. No wonder for more than 350 years, we're the Asia-Pacific hub, Spanish Europe, and Mexico Americas. 50 years the Americans, 2 years the British, 4 years the Japanese. Because of our strategic location, all superpower countries are interested in islands. That's a given already. And this has been my dream since I was a student, interconnecting the whole Philippines. I also presented this in New York, 2006, and Maglev, Germany came to swim in our office, the fastest train at time. Lawag to Davao could be less than 3 hours. And American Corps of Engineers, 1945, they proposed 6 circumferential roads, and I proposed 10 circumferential roads. And circumferential number 10, transportation, includes our proposal for connecting Bataan and Cavite. Now they are building it now. We are number 16 economy of the world by 2050, according to Goldman Sachs and HSBC. It's not just me. We can be there. And we need at least 100 new cities by 2050. 150 million Filipinos. If you don't do that, our cities now will be as bad, if not worse, than Metro Manila. We'll need also, I told the President, 400 international airports, international seaport standards. And 2050, we could have at least 50 million tourists. And one of my professors in Harvard used to tell us, this century is not just Asia-Pacific century, but re-century, reimagine, replan, re-architecture, redesign, re-engineer, redevelop, renew, reduce, reuse, and recycle, hopefully urban renaissance. Next slide. And there are 6 categories of infrastructure. Progressive, these are international airports and seaports. Hard infrastructure, we know that. Road utilities. Soft infrastructure, very important. No red tape, no corruption, and so on. It's unfortunate that Asian Development Bank hired me as external consultant for the preparation of the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028. And I shared with them there are 20 kinds of infrastructure, 32 kinds of infrastructure, 18 kinds of tourism. Unfortunately, we have less than 10. And our development planning is, I think, electoral calendar. We used to have a culture of planning in the 70s. And we're planning 15-minute cities, 10-minute communities, 5-minute neighborhoods. Like Rockwell, if you live there, everything is within 5 minutes, 400 meters. For Clark and other urban planning projects we're doing, 15-minute biking, walking, public transit. And types of tourism, about 18 of them. Next slide. And I'm a fellow and regional leader of the Council for Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat headquartered in Chicago. We are the ones certifying the tallest buildings in the world, and we encourage vertical urbanism instead of urban sprawl. Next slide. And green buildings, this is the latest building of Asian Development Bank. I'm the architect of record here. We got U.S. Green Building Council LEED certification from gold, silver, platinum. Next slide. And this is one of the buildings we designed for King Abdullah Financial District in Riyadh. Green architecture, you can see the solar roof, green roof, and so on. Next slide. And this is one of our advocacies. Those with less in wheels should have more inroads. The road transport corridor should be 1/3 for people, pedestrians and bicycles, 1/3 for trees and landscaping. It takes at least 10 trees to recover the oxygen of the carbon monoxide per car. If there are 500 vehicles on EDSA, ideally we should have 5 million trees along EDSA. Next slide. At Palafox, these are our guidelines. People first, social equity, job creation, poverty elevation. Then we can talk about planet, earth, environment, profit, prosperity, and economy, without forgetting history, culture, and humanities, and interfaith spirituality. This is our guideline for planning. And if it's violated, we return the project. And I like this, even since I was a student in architecture. Daniel Burnham, he planned Manila in 1905, Baguio in Chicago in 1909. Make no little plans, they have no magic to stir men's blood. Make big plans, aim high in hope and work, remembering noble diagram, once recorded will never die. But long after we're gone, living thing, asserting itself with ever-growing insistence. Remember that our sons and daughters are going to do things that would stagger us. Let your watchword be order and beacon beauty. I spent 26 confined in Makati Med. I got COVID and 30 days in relation. Then I was inspired again by Winston Churchill. Never let a good crisis go to waste. We should learn from it. And Churchill also said, we shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us. I paraphrase this, we shape our environment, thereafter the environment shape us. And next slide. And I wrote this when I was a student, 1973, 51 years ago at UP. Developments that were the name unless spread evenly like butter on a piece of bread. When I went to Harvard, they called this inclusive growth, inclusive zoning. Next slide. So I think we all like to live in environment-friendly, master-planned, and well-designed green building and sustainable communities and cities that are smarter, more resilient, livable, connected, accessible, walkable, bikeable, safer, healthier, hopefully happier, and better lighted, more convenient, cleaner, mixed income, cross-generational with mixed developments, integrating places to live, work, shop, and dine, learn and worship, integration and wellness centers with some 24-hour cycle activity centers. And everything we do is pro Deo, Patria, et Terra, for God, country, and planet Earth. I'm also a former seminarian, so I was put the pro Deo there. Next slide. And if you want some of our projects, as long as the clients allowed us, you can look at our YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram at Palafox Official or our website. Next slide. I think we have time to show some of the 3D animation of some of the projects, how our cities can look like 2040, 2050. Clark Electropolis. Electropolis is airport-driven city. We master planned Clark in 1999. Again, we were asked to update the plans. So 4,000 hectares, just to visualize it, 4,000 hectares is larger than Makati. Makati is less than 3,000 hectares, and less now because Taguig took part of the. And we divided into 7 districts, airport-driven land uses, the North Gateway, Southern Gateway. We have smart city principles, lifestyle, and so on. This is even roadshowed in elsewhere in the world. When I spoke in the Dubai Expo, I presented this also. It will have 3 runways. Target capacity is 80 million. This is Clark. Hopefully, they will follow our architectural typology. More open spaces, the lungs of the city. In Metro Manila now, we're losing some open spaces. Southern Gateway, rainwater harvesting, the waterfront, riverfront. You have, of course, the airport, the railway from Bicol to Manila to Clark, and hopefully up to the north. Stadsenburg was the original name of Clark. The parade grounds will be like the Central Park. We'll maintain the heritage homes with tall buildings behind them. Now we just updated this. We were hired 1999, then we were hired again recently, and it was just approved by the board recently. Leisure District, we have more private sector projects here, like hotels, condotel, even the latest golf community. We master and the fairway lot. So, leisure. So that's 4,000 hectares. And fortunately, we also won the planning of the province of Pampanga. And Pampanga is twice the size of Singapore, twice the size of Hong Kong. And it's about 70 kilometers from here. So we have themed development here, but all of them are mixed-use development as long as they are compatible land uses. So 3 times Singapore, twice Hong Kong. Agropolis, the farm, and the city. And then Ecopolis, ecology, environment in the city. Aquapolis, Candaba swamps, the water in the city. Aerotropolis, Clark and surroundings. Metropolis, several cities. Megalopolis, several metropolitan areas. Even the road transport corridors, higher capacity vehicles have priority. The intermodal transit terminal with solar roof, rainwater harvesting. Hopefully, we can also influence the typology of public markets. This is the intermodal transit terminal. Buses, jeepneys, tricycles. Rainwater harvesting with renewable energy, solar roof. Even the center lanes are in the inner. Now they are doing it in EDSA, which we proposed in 1976 when I was team leader for Metro Manila, World Bank funded. So the 1/3 for trees, 1/3 for people, 1/3 for moving traffic. Some perimeter LGUs of Pampanga, you get out of Pampanga, then you go back. So introduce. The next is Metro Davao, 8 LGUs. It's so nice to plan Metro Davao. One political will, 8 LGUs. Metro Manila, 17 political wills. Very challenging. So, again, the progressive infrastructure, international airports, international seaports. Hopefully, cruise tourism will come back. My next big engagement is cruise tourism at SMX, 11 o'clock. A lot of open space. The night market, we propose to elevate it so you don't have to close the roads. And urban renewal for Davao Chinatown. Intermodal transit terminal inspired by Mindanaoan architecture. Elevated walkways, I hope we'll have, we do this, our skywalks along EDSA. Very well landscaped, wheelchair ready. Our architectural design for the bridge between Samal Island and Davao. Metro Davao is 10 times the size of Metro, 9 times Singapore, 6 times Hong Kong. Our proposal for the bridge, we have pedestrian highway, car lane, vertical clearance will accommodate the largest cruise ship. So this is Philippines 2040-2050. Although Rebecca and Richard, they want it 2030. And the next one is the tourism master plan for Davao. Davao is the, I think, largest land area city in the world. So even the marketing collateral was part of the scope of work. Marinas, cruise ship tourism, aerial cable cars, cultural cluster. You can see as much practicable, we put solar roof, rainwater harvesting, internet cluster. Our challenge was it should be as visually powerful as the major cities in the world with harbor. Amusement park, walkable, bikeable, lots of landscaping, the commercial cluster, business center. You can see even skywalks have solar roof, very walkable. We have rentable kiosks even with solar roof. When there are more eyes in the public realm, it discourages criminality. You can see the skywalk with solar bicycle lanes. Take advantage of the amenities at the front. Aerial cable cars. Again, urban renewal for Chinatown with a night market, pedestrian priority. Yeah, we plan Davao from the ridge, top of the mountain, the highlands, the midlands, the lowlands, and the coastline. So with panoramic views of the city, the Gulf, and Mount Apo. Leasable stalls, so it can be self-contained earn revenue. So viewing the areas, zip line, cable car station. You can see the architectural typology again, influenced by indigenous architecture. Pasalubong center, park trails, pedestrian bicycle bridges in the gullies. We zigzag the road, so minimize cut and fill. Mountain park towards the Midlands already. Or restaurants overlooking the city. You see here, we save the trees. We snake around the trees. Workshop center for get more livelihood. Cable car station. Community center. So that Davao City. I think the next one is our client was this Ilocos Norte. We won the design competition for the intermodal transit terminal. And the rooftop is a park, also wheelchair ready. So we'll have buses, jeepneys, taxis, and so on. Because they lack parks and open spaces in Lawag, so we made the rooftop of this intermodal transit terminal with solar roof. And include also the influenced by the Ilocos architecture of Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, with mixed-use commercial spaces. So again, the transit terminal can pay for itself. And some government offices as well. Metro Ilocos, that's Ilocos Norte. And green roof access. Department of Transportation decided to fund this. Supposed to be funded by Ilocos Norte government. I think Department they want this to be a model for future transit terminals. You can see the rooftop with roof garden. This is a vacant space between Marian Marcos University and the Sports Arena. I asked them to remove the concrete fence and we're able to fit in this intermodal transit terminal. The roof guard. The walkable, bikeable, also wheelchair ready. We have ramps all over the place. And rainwater harvesting. And as much practicable, natural light and ventilation. Solar roof, all this roof here. And still include the natural lighting. Bus parking and terminal. They have a lot of sitting areas and kiosks for impulse buying. E-jeepney parking and terminal. Again, solar roof for these e-tricycles. When we have time, we take pictures of the uglification of our cities and we create perspectives. We give it to the mayors, how they should look like. I call them postcards from the future, hoping somebody will implement them. When we were planning Dubai, I said, snapshots of the future because I know they will implement them immediately. And this is the largest airport in our country, 4 runways in partnership with the San Miguel Corporation. We put in here the best practices in the world: smart, livable, resilient, green. Buildings are interconnected. So the airport, increased tourism, increased investment. I think 734 billion pesos to be invested here, the largest private investment in our country. Again, walkable, bikeable, Parque Sunset, 15-minute city, 10-minute communities, 5-minute neighborhoods. You can do lush landscaping, so practically 100% open space. The building footprint removed from the grass, you will have sky gardens, rooftop garden. So you compensate for the building footprint that remove the grass. And we also did here the green building guidelines. That was one of my many tasks in Dubai because they don't have ugly buildings in Dubai. The architectural standard, I set it November 77. Also signages. No, yeah. I have just 2 more, I think. So this will target capacity 120 million. Clark is 80 million. NAIA, which we did the rehabilitation master plan, 2004, it's only now being implemented thanks to San Miguel and Incheon Airport coming forward. So walkable, bikeable, visual connectivity, again, to discourage criminality. When there are more eyes in the public realm, discourage. And some of the architectural concepts, even if other architects will come in, at least they follow the green building architectural guideline. Green, you can see the transit hub also, intermodal. Transit hub. Lots of trees. There will be more trees than, because our guideline is 10 trees per car. So if you own 4 cars, you must plant 40 trees. And there are planting areas, elevated walkways, even elevated bicycle lanes. Rainwater harvesting, rooftop gardens, and renewable energy. Interconnected with skywalks on the 3rd floor also. Mixes BOI, DTI. Again, they asked me to present this in Dubai during the Dubai Expo. Leyte Ecological Industrial Zone. Part of our assignment was site selection. So we did it objectively with clinical detachment, so we don't favor one politicalized LGU. So it's like an industrial park inside a forest, or a forest inside industrial park. Again, the principle of walkability, livability, sustainability, resiliency. And BOI and DT, I hope this will be again a model for industrial estates, industrial park. And this is in Isabel, Meridan, Leyte, north of Ormoc. So take advantage of the amenity value of the waterfront. And that's BOI investment. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.